Hello everyone. In previous class we have discussed some of the demonstrations for shoulder flexure, extensors and abductors. So remembering these principles, we'll move on to discuss some of the demonstrations today for again shoulder joint muscles. So some of the points that we discussed were the principles that we need to remember were the test positions, the importance of stabilization, applications of pressure, and how can we make the test reliable. So moving on to first demonstration for today, that is for internal rotators of shoulder. So what are the muscles that is responsible for creating internal rotation at glenohumeral joint or shoulder joint? So we'll come back to this later. First, we'll discuss how to position the patient so that the patient can perform movement against resistance. That is for grade 5, 4 and 3. So to perform movement against resistance, how should we position the patient? So the position of the patient, as you can see in the picture, should be prone lying with the patient's head facing towards the test side. Shoulder is to be abducted to 90 degree. You can see in the picture, shoulder is abducted to 90 degree with supported by the folded towel. The arm is supported by the folded towel to create more stabilization, and the forearm is hanging vertically over the edge of the table. So elbow is flexed and forearm is hanging vertically over the edge of the table. So in this position, patient can perform internal rotation of the shoulder and it would be against the gravity. So you can see here, first the therapist has to perform passive range of motion to find the available range. After the therapist finds the available range of motion by performing passive range of motion, the patient is instructed to perform same movement without any assistance against the gravity. So here patient performs active range of motion against gravity to the available range, and that will be graded as grade 3. Now if we find the patient is able to perform grade 3, then we'll move on to examine for grade 5 and 4 by applying the resistance, as you can see in the demonstration video. So the position of the patient should be prone lying with face facing towards the test side and shoulder abducted to 90 degree and supported by the towel that is rolled and kept under the arm, and the forearm is hanging vertically over the edge of the table. So after that, the patient will be instructed to perform active range of motion against the gravity, and also if patient is able to perform active range of motion against gravity, the therapist will apply resistance and ask the patient to hold the position against resistance. So this would be the position and the examination test for grade 5, 4 and 3. So you can observe the video here again without any um, interruption. Now, if patient is not able to perform grade 3, then we have to examine for grade 2. So, what should be the position for grade 2? For grade 2, you can see the position of the patient should be again prone lying, and the patient should be facing towards the test side. So here in the video, patient is not facing towards the test side, which is wrong. So patient should be facing towards the test side, and patient must be near the edge of the table on test side so that entire arm can hang down freely over the edge, as you can see in the picture here. So arm should be in neutral with palm facing the table. So the difference between grade 3, 4 and 5 and grade 2 is In grade 3, 4 and 5, only the forearm was hanging outside the couch, whereas here the arm as well as the forearm is hanging outside the couch, so that the movement of the internal rotation would be in gravity eliminated position. So you can see the demonstration video here. First, therapist will apply the passive range of motion to find the internal rotation, and then the patient is instructed to perform the internal rotation in gravity eliminated position. You can see the horizontal plane movement of internal rotation is in gravity eliminated position. There is no gravity acting against the movement. So the position of the patient, the only difference is the arm and the forearm both are hanging outside the edge of the couch, and the patient is asked to perform internal rotation of the shoulder joint in gravity eliminated position. You can observe the video here again without any interruption. Now, I would like you all to perform this assignment. The first one is to find the alternate position for testing grade 5, 4 and 3. So here we have discussed the position which is prone lying position. Now you have to find the alternate position for testing grade 5, 4 and 3. And another assignment is to find the muscles responsible for performing internal rotation of glenohumeral joint or shoulder joint. Now moving on to next demonstration, that is for external rotators of the glenohumeral joint. So what are the external rotators? Mainly infraspinatus and teres minor are the external rotators of glenohumeral joint. So how should we position the patient? It is same as for internal rotators. So the patient is in prone lying with shoulder abducted to 90 degree and forearm outside the couch, and the arm is supported by the towel roll. So it is same position as for internal rotators of the examining the internal rotators of the glenohumeral joint. So again the performance, the demonstration would be, you can see the movement is towards external rotation. So therapist performed passive range of motion to find the available range, and now the patient is performing active range of motion to the full available range against gravity. You can see the movement is against gravity, and then if patient is able to perform grade 3, then the therapist will apply resistance and find if it is grade 5 or 4. So the position of the patient is prone lying with head turned towards test side, shoulder abducted to 90 with arm fully supported on the table, forearm hanging vertically over edge of the table, and again the folded towel would be placed under the arm. So now if patient is not able to perform grade 3, then we have to examine for grade 2. Again the position for grade 2 is same as for internal rotators of the shoulder joint. So the position of the patient is prone lying, and the patient should be facing towards the test side. Here in the picture or the video, the patient is not facing towards the test side, which is wrong. And again the arm and the forearm is hanging by the side of the table. So here again the therapist will examine the available range of motion by performing passive range of motion, and the patient is instructed to perform external rotation of the shoulder. Here you can see the movement is in horizontal plane, that is gravity eliminated position. So the position of the patient is same as for internal rotators, that is prone lying with head facing towards the test side and arm and forearm hanging outside the couch. Now let's move on to next demonstration, that is for shoulder horizontal abduction.